Welcome back. We're going to be talking about Bitcoin hitting $250,000. I know some of you guys are absolutely tired of the insanity, tired of hearing me say it, tired of me being bullish, just tired of me in general. And really just tired with the entire state of crypto. Why? Because it's freaking boring, okay? This is probably one of the most boring cycles I've ever been in, okay? At least in 2018, 2017, 2020, before we pumped, number just went down. It just went down. We did have areas of consolidation, but everything went to zero. Everybody was mad. Nothing good was happening. And again, I'm sorry, I'm still itching. Oh God, tattoo removal sucks. Anyways, with that being said, we're going to talk about it because this didn't come from me. This actually came from Arthur Hayes. Arthur Hayes was also the dude that said that Bitcoin will hit like $70,000 to $70,000, which I still think could definitely be in play. And $250,000 Bitcoin. Could that happen? Well, when we talk about it on a geopolitical level, yeah, because we're talking about traditional finance and governments and all kinds of stuff using money, the money printers, to buy more Bitcoin. Bitcoin's a finite asset, okay? It's kind of what we see happen with gold. But gold's a little bit like, this is with Bitcoin. Bitcoin is 100% transparent. Like, you could literally see everything. But when it comes to, with gold, it's not. Like, we can expect that, thank you, stray dog. We can expect that there's gold in certain areas. Hell, we don't even know how much money Fort Knox, or how much gold Fort Knox has. We don't even know. So we can expect for this stuff to happen, but we cannot, we don't really know. We don't really know the complete supply of gold. So it's pretty interesting. With Bitcoin, we know what we have, okay? But I digress. We're going to go ahead and get into it. We're going to talk about Bitcoin. We're going to talk about the, I know I'm never boring. I'm always a mess, man. I'm always a mess. There's always something going on. My personal life is so messy. Oh my God. It's so messy. It's so annoying. And that's my fault. That's my fault. That's why when you decide to have kids, you try to give them the best life ever, so they don't go through traumatic stuff. So when they grow up, they become full functioning grown adults. Okay, full functioning grown adults. Also, too, make sure y'all smash the like, subscribe, set alerts, yourmom.com, and drop me comments. I know I'm itching everywhere. It's itchy. I know I should have put more lidocaine on it. Anyways, let's get into it. I know I'm a hot mess. All right. So Mr. Arthur Hayes. And shout out to Twitch, TikTok, YouTube, Rumble. I think that's it. Anyway, shout out to our channel members, Mr. R, Mr. John Legend, Mr. Eric is here, and gorgeous Alexandra is here. We got to get some more people. Make sure you guys smash the like. That's the least you could do. That's the bare minimum. Okay. So we got shout outs to TikTok and Rumble and Twitch and YouTube. Let's go ahead and get into it. What is Arthur Hayes talking about now? So Bitcoin can hit $250,000 in 2025 if the Federal Reserve shifts to quarter easing. So basically, Hayes is talking about or quantitative easing. So he predicts Bitcoin's rise, citing increasing fiat supply as a key catalyst, which that does make sense because we talk about having infinite amount of cash that you can just print and then buying a finite asset. The Fed's reduced treasury runoff cap and possible balance sheet expansion may fuel Bitcoin's growth, plus global tariff concerns as macroeconomic factors may impact short-term Bitcoin momentum. And that's exactly what that's exactly what we're seeing, okay? That is exactly what we're seeing right now. We're seeing essentially and plus two tariffs are supposed to start today, but we don't even know if they're happening today. This is the thing. Governments, governments are run like businesses, which is great, fine, fantastic. But at the end of the day, it's like keeping people on the edge of their seat, because the stock market reacts, et cetera. And also, you guys, stock market is a bigger Ponzi than crypto. Crypto allows equal access for everyone. And if you're smart enough, you will do well. Shout out to John. I will be in Canada next month at Futurist and also at Consensus. I'll be there. Man, this sucks, man. I'm going to need some hot dogs today, some flowers, some water, all kinds of stuff. All right. But no, he's right, though. And it's like, as far as global tariffs and everything, it will impact Bitcoin short term because it shocks the market when we get tariffs. But again, just because we have tariffs that are being announced doesn't mean that we're going to see a dump which we probably will. But at the same time, it is kind of priced in because we knew that this was happening. And I did tell you guys Q1 and Q2. I see you, BMO. Q1 and Q2 of 2025, I told you guys there's going to be volatility. I told you, like, anytime policies are put into play or being negotiation, shout out to Stray Dog, it takes time. It takes time for us to actually see the results of it. Just like we're seeing the stuff from the panorama, we're still waiting to see what's going on, how that's impacting. Like, they're saying we're not in a recession, but we're in a recession. We're in a damn recession. So there's that. And today is also Liberation Day. What is that? I thought that was supposed to be the 5th where everybody gets out in the streets. Anyways, today, Trump will roll out reciprocal tariffs. He referred to April 2nd as Liberation Day. He said the tariffs will announce he said the tariffs he will announce free the U.S. from depending on foreign goods. Tariffs will reportedly address the 1.2 trillion trade deficit and boost domestic manufacturing. Now, let's go ahead and talk about that a little bit. So, I'm not an economist. I love hot dogs. I'm not an economist, but I do know how people live. I do know the basics of things like that. And also, too, I have a friend that's an economist, and I was like, hey, like last bear market, I was like, hey, is there any the economy books, like economist stuff I can read to help me become a better trader, investor? He's like, no. It's all BS anyways. And it's just like, and that's the thing though, is you're listening to people, you're listening to people who create literature to push their narrative. Okay. Like, they're saying Americans were not in a recession. How are we not in a recession? People are not able to get jobs because there's not jobs. People are not able to put food on the table. People are having trouble buying homes, all kinds of stuff. Like, to me, this is recession. People aren't losing their houses yet, but unfortunately, I see that on the horizon. You know? I don't know. I'm just an idiot on the internet. But let's go ahead and talk about this over here, and then we'll do some charts soon. So the Liberation Day, and I don't see an issue with the reciprocal tariffs. I really don't see an issue with that. And I don't know, why are people mad about reciprocal tariffs? Honestly, because if a country X charges us Y, why are we not charging them the same? For what reason? What is the reason? And I know that they use tariffs as a different negotiation tool, but at the same time, it's like, why are Americans suffering? Why do people think America is made out of money? Like, we're ghetto over here. We are damn ghetto over here. We have got a lot of people that are not living good. We got homeless people. We have stupid kids. We have uneducated adults. Like, our doctor, it's just, there's a lot of stuff. Like, we're ghetto over here, you know? And I know that we're known for helping people, which is fine. I'm all about helping people, but you got to get your house in order before you help people. So that's that. I don't know. BMO says, I can't even afford to go on vacation. And that's the thing, is like America, like if you look back in the day, Americans would have like one family vacation. There was one parent working. There was like one car, one house, all kinds of stuff. For the most part, that's how it was. And it's not like that anymore. Like, people can't afford houses. People can't go on vacations, anything like that. And that's ridiculous. Like, if we're sending all this money everywhere, then why aren't our people living good? You know, just kind of sucks. But I grew up poor, so I get it. So there's that. And then here, China restricts companies from investing in the US. So now it's this big thing that's happening. And this is getting a little bit scary. Now, China doesn't want to invest in US companies, but do we really need China to invest in us? Do we? Like, this is the thing. I understand they moved a lot of production offshore to lower costs, but I'm going to tell you guys, clothes, I'm a big thrift store shopper. The clothes that were made in like the 30s and the 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, up until like the 90s, like the early 2000s, that's when the quality completely got trash. Completely got trash. So we need to figure out a way to make things in America, but also make it affordable. We should. But it's just unfortunate to see. It really, really is. And like, there's a lot of moving parts that happen behind the scenes with agriculture in America, like what they do to the farmers and all kinds of stuff. And that's another problem too, is we're not able to produce what we need to produce. And that makes it problematic, and it makes it hard. Like, we need to really get the government out of the out of the farms and let people farm and run their businesses. You know, we should incentivize, like, our taxpayer dollars. Like, why aren't we incentivizing companies to create in America? Like, why aren't we giving these companies like whatever. So it's like, I feel like if China's not going to invest in us, great, fine. If we lose all our investors, then we're kind of essentially be forced to invest in ourselves. And again, I'm not saying what Trump is doing is right. Not any way, shape, or form. I'm simply saying that we do need to have a change does need to happen to an extent. And what we've been doing is sending jobs overseas and getting specialists overseas and whatnot. That's not working. And again, I have, like, with immigration, I have no, just as long as it's legal immigration or you're coming here, like, just as long as you haven't committed a crime, even in DUI, because Canada doesn't allow us if you have a DUI, but just as long as you haven't committed a crime and you want to come here to work, and you don't commit a crime when you're here, cool, fine, just come. I want the most talented of the talented. But again, like, that's another issue we have in healthcare, and I could talk about that all day long. It's another reason why our healthcare has gone down the drain. I won't get into it on this show, and it's going to be a little bit controversial, but it is what it is. And my hair is clean today. My freaking arm is itching, you guys. But anyways, that's what's going on with that. So we don't know how the economy is going to react. It's going to take a while for it to react, but I do think we can build America great again. If we do, if we change a lot of things. And there's a lot of red tape happening in our government, and that is not good. The government is not mymom.com, not mine either. I went out with margaritas for with my mama yesterday. My sister was so mad the whole entire time. It was funny. My mom was like, you need to drive to my sister. And because she doesn't drink. And I was like, that's the only reason why mom had you. And she's like, and my mom started laughing. She thought it was funny. Now, this is another important story, and we'll get into the stuff in a little bit. 70% chance of crypto bottoming before June amid trade fears, and this comes from Nansen. So this is from a research analyst at Nansen, and they said global uncertainty over import tariff negotiation is limiting investor sentiment in both traditional and crypto markets. Crypto is this is the thing. Crypto doesn't know what it's doing. It doesn't know its head from its butthole right now. That's what's happening. And a lot of people don't understand the power of crypto either. They don't understand the decentralized aspect because that's not being pushed anymore. But it is what it is. So Nansen estimates 70% chance for crypto valuations to hit a bottom by June, with Bitcoin and Ethereum down 15% and 22% from their year-to-date highs. Crypto and traditional markets lack upside momentum ahead of tariff announcement. Bitcoin supported 82,000 with potential upside for 86.5. 90% of sentiment stabilized. Market remains wait-and-see mode. And I understand that. I understand that. I totally understand that. And it kind of segues with this over here. Cointelegraph. Bitcoin sales at 109,000 all-time high, still significantly below top cycle, with long-term holders refusing to sell despite major profits. So let me explain this to you. People will not take profit on their Bitcoin. Crypto people will not take profit on their Bitcoin. And the reason why crypto people do not want to take profit on their Bitcoin, which I'm a crypto person and I'll explain, I don't want to sell my Bitcoin. I will sell everything else. I'm itchy because I'm getting tattoo removal and it hurts. So I'm like, and this is the second week. I think did I get it done last week? No, the week before. This is the second week. It's itchy. It's actually 2 weeks today. Fucking itchy, man. I have sensitive skin too. Anyways, I have lidocaine. I've been putting on it. Stack sats. But yeah, people don't want to sell their Bitcoin. Like crypto people that have been in Bitcoin for a while, we don't want to sell it. Yeah, we'll trade it. Yeah, we'll use leverage, whatever. Also, too, you guys, we got something about Phemex coming up for you soon. So stick around. Stick around. I think we got Phemex. Because if you deposit $25 or if you use it, sign up, you get $25. Not financial advice. But basically, crypto people don't want to sell their Bitcoin. We don't want to. The reason why we don't want to is because we know numbers going to go up regardless of what happens with Ethereum, with altcoins, of whatnot. Of course, we'll take profits on that. But not with Bitcoin. It doesn't make sense. Bitcoin is like a tier one thing, something that you essentially want to pass down to your family, something that you want to take out collateralized loans against, all that type of stuff. But we don't want to sell our Bitcoin. There makes no sense to sell Bitcoin at this time. It doesn't. So that's what's happening. But this is the current state of the crypto markets. This is going to be the daily. EOS, White. Is this White Rock? Yep, White Rock is up. Ray, Kaya, all kinds of stuff. This is on the daily. Now, when we take a look at Bitcoin, let's see. We'll see. Actually, I'm gonna do the Phemex thing right now. So Phemex they have a thing right now. They've got a thing, and they've got a beautiful disclaimer. Love it. But yeah, we're gonna get into charts, but I got to show you guys Phemex because we have a partnership with them. And if you sign up, you make money. So you get to trade directly from your spot account without a wallet. You gain access to unlisted memes. This is going to be through Phemex Memex. Phemex holds your coins on chain. Trades are done with USDT, and meme coins cannot be withdrawn. You can only sell them for Tether. However, always do your due diligence. But this is something that they have going on, and this is going to be the Memex. So they've got all of these different coins on Solana. So it's kind of like a pump.fun, but not. So again, not your keys, not your coins. It's something you are going to have to see if it's right for you. But Phemex is giving away money right now if you sign up. But basically, Memex allows you to buy and sell on-chain coins without worrying about exchange listings and liquidity issues, which is great, fine, fantastic. So this is going to be good for people that are interested in, that type of stuff. Also, this is Mr. Federico, but he says Base and BNB chain are now integrated on Memex. Our users can trade the latest tokens launched on both chains seamlessly on Phemex Fish without needing to connect a wallet, which I think that's super, super cool. And if you guys do sign up with my link, you can get up to $2,100 in bonus. Literally you get, I thought it was $25. Anyways, it's $20 to sign up. You get, if you guys are interested. Shout out to Neil. Appreciate you guys being here. But again, not your keys, not your coins. No need to use high leverage. And if you guys sign up, you support me and you support the channel. But make sure you know what you're doing before you do it, and just be very cautious. Okay, very, very cautious. Anyways, let's get back into the market update. Shout out to Phemex. And the links are in the description too, and I pinned it too. But again, in 2018, we could just short the market because everything was effing going to zero. Now, do we want to short the market? Kind of, sort of, not really. Sorry, my arm is itching. All right, so this is Bitcoin, and this is the monthly chart. At least we're up in green right now, but we got a long month ahead of us. Taking a look at the weekly, we're just kind of going sideways in a range between about 82 to about... we'll do 87 because the weekly candle close. Taking a look at the daily, again, we're just really going sideways. So we need to get an actual breakout and sustain above 87,000, or we're going to continue to go sideways. Taking a look at the 4-hour chart, 4-hour chart is hitting resistance. That's telling me we're going to have some more sideways action again. However, with the tariffs and everything happening today, I would expect potential volatility. Now with Ethereum is not looking as strong as Bitcoin, of course. We did get a swing wick high to 1900. We broke down below support at 1851, and now we're trading about 1800. Ethereum is just something that's a big disappointment to everybody. Solana looks a lot stronger, holding support at 125. We're probably going to rock up to 136. XRP incredibly well, above $2.01 over here, and I'm fine with that. Link is something that I am adamantly accumulating because I think it will continue to do well. We're at 1375, so I actually might put some money in and get some. We'll see about that. But it's exciting. That's fun. I actually got to buy more. Yeah, I'll buy more Link when I get off the stream. I'll buy some more Link when I get off the stream. And I do want to get Aave, but I want to get Aave close. Ooh, Aave hit the bottom support again. Oof. Shout out to VeChain. We love VeChain. We absolutely love VeChain. Make sure you guys smash a like too. I want Aave to break down below the support though. I don't know if it's going to. I kind of want to buy like 50 grand of Aave, but I want to see if it'll go lower. We'll see. I don't know. I'm conflicted. Let's get back into the news, though. So, we've got Mr. Michael Saylor. Michael Saylor is a made-up name. What the heck? Oh, we're not going to cover this. We're not going to cover that. Publicly traded Bitcoin miners just had their worst month ever, and this is from JP Morgan. I like that JP Morgan is now like this big old Bitcoin company, which is freaking funny. They're talking about Bitcoin all the time. It's hilarious. But basically, miners lost $6 billion in market cap, down 25%. JP Morgan reports similar losses Friday, making now 2 consecutive tough months for mining stocks. Trump previously pledged to support Bitcoin mining, aiming for 100% American mined Bitcoin, which again, mining economics is something we bring up on the channel, but we don't talk about it a whole lot. The reason why is I didn't freeze your chat. The reason why we don't talk about it a lot is incredibly complex. Very, very complex. But apparently mining profits were down. And that's because not a lot of people are using the network. Eric brought that to my attention the other day. So it sucks, but it is what it is. So Bitcoin will be okay. The miners will be okay. They take out collateralized loans. They're fine. They don't have to sell Bitcoin anymore like they used to. Now, Bitcoin Magazine. Fidelity launched a no-fee retirement plan for U.S. adults to invest in Bitcoin. This is probably one of the most bullish things that I have, that news announcements that have come out. Why is it bullish? Fidelity launched a no-fee retirement plan for U.S. adults to invest in Bitcoin. Like, why wouldn't you want to invest? Why wouldn't you want to invest in Bitcoin? And there's no fees? Pretty cool if you ask me. So basically, they're allowing everyone to kind of get into it. Also, it's funny, they're shilling salt over here. Shout out to Bitcoin Magazine. Borrow against it. Never sell your Bitcoin, borrow against it. Explore Bitcoin-backed loans. That's from Salt. We're not partnered with them. But anyways, when we're talking about Bitcoin-backed collateralized loans, you better understand what you're doing because it is dangerous. You can get liquidated super, super easy. But we're going to see a lot more of those happen. We're going to see a lot more. Now, Grayscale launches Grayscale Bitcoin Covered Call ETF, ticker BTCC, and Grayscale Bitcoin Premium Income ETF, ticker BPI. Basically, they launched 2 ETFs, and BTCC maximizes income by writing near spot covered calls, reducing volatility, and BPI balances income and capital appreciation by writing out of the money calls. I have no idea what the hell that means. But again, these are just traditional finance gets to create these TradFi products, make money, and sell them to you, and just create stuff out of thin air. Poof! Good for them. Happy for them. Happy for them. Crazy stuff. This is why I'm bullish on Bitcoin. This is why no one wants to sell their Bitcoin. Why would you? Also, Kraken adds 11,000 stocks and ETFs that can be traded with zero commission. So again, we're seeing more of this happen now. Nvidia, BitB, iBit, etc. So Kraken, we're seeing Kraken and Crypto.com and a lot of the crypto companies kind of get into TradFi. So we're going to see these crypto companies come these big brokers, and I think they're going to become banks as well soon. I do. Now, I want to give a shout out to this because we are invested in ELYZA. It's something that AI16Z, something we've talked about. We talked about a $20,000 market cap. What's it doing? Our $20 million market cap. Hold on. What is it at now? What's it at now? Yeah, we talked about AI16Z. It's been pretty rough lately. It pumped to like to $2 billion, and now it's down at 200. But we talked about it, I think, at a $20 million market cap. So if you got in when we talked about it, you're probably doing fine. This is why we talk about making moon bags and taking profit. But again, this actually looks really nice. But I am invested in this. I'm not telling you to buy more. I just kind of wanted to cover this story with Hedera because I think it's cool. Because again, AI16Z is an AI project, an AI agent project. But basically, plugins are what makes ELYZA yours. Join Shah as he live codes with Hedera's agent integration. Again, Hedera, they're a partner of ours, but I like the fact that they're focused on like DeFi, on RWAs and AI. Those are really important sectors, very, very, very important sectors in my personal opinion. But I think that this is super cool, and I'm like happy that they're doing it. So basically, they're going to demonstrate how Hedera's AI agent integration complements ELYZA OS AI ecosystem, and both are utilizing the upcoming Hedera AI agent hackathon. And the founder, Shah, he's going to show, and Hedera dev Jake, they're going to host this event. And they're going to show coding and all kinds of stuff. So if you want to learn about coding, I highly recommend you take a look at this because it looks like it's going to be available to everyone to see. Now let's talk about Mr. CZ. BNB ETF filing by VanEck. VanEck did another one. So VanEck registered a Delaware trust for a spot Bitcoin ETF in Delaware. It's an early step before SEC application would be the first U.S. listed BNB ETF. VanEck previously launched BTC and Ethereum ETFs in 2024, and they're also seeking approval for Solana and Avalanche ETFs. Make sure y'all smash the like too. Now, Charles H. He says meme coins need to pivot to survive dumping. Here's what he means. Let's go ahead and see what Mr. Charles means over here. Let's see what he means. Yeah, I love AI16Z. Yeah, how's the like button doing today? You guys need to hit the like, man. You guys need to hit the like. All right. So on a podcast with our mutual friend, Mr. Scott, Charles compared meme coins to short-lived celebrities needing rapid evolution to survive. Says 99% of memes will fail unless they pivot to ecosystem building and community engagement. That's 100% true. The only meme coins that are going to end up doing well, in my personal opinion, is going to be stuff like Floki and Squid Grow, projects that are actively building that have utility, okay, and that make sense and whatnot. So those are good examples of projects outside of that are meme coins that are actually building stuff. And AI16Z, they started off kind of as a meme coin, but it's AI stuff. So again, meme coins with utility, those will do well. He criticizes meme coin dumping, where insiders pump and dump, which 100%, that's exactly what happening. What is this? Hold on a second. Oh my God. But anyways, no, he's right. And again, meme coins, they started off as like for the people, by the people, but realistically, it's the same crap as ICOs and insiders and whatnot. And yeah, you can make money with them just like you can with other coins, but again, it's a little bit more volatile. A little bit more volatile there. Let's see. So this is from Mr. Miles. He says, full April crypto calendar. Let's see what the heck this is. Okay, this is a nice chart. Yeah, we'll probably cover this stuff. Now, SEC, Gemini filed joint motion to seek potential resolution to crypto lawsuit. The SEC has recently been dropping its lawsuit against crypto companies, including Coinbase and OpenSea. And the SEC and Gemini have filed a motion for a 60-day stay for their legal case to seek a resolution, which is kind of important. The lawsuit accuses Gemini of selling unregistered securities via the lending program. Again, all these lending programs that we used to have, but now they're like, this is the thing. They're bringing all the lending programs back, and they're doing it via stablecoin regulation to where it makes it legal. Anyways, it's just kind of crazy that they didn't have any of these safeties put in place during the crypto contagion. And now we're seeing it brought back, but now under legislation. Gets interesting. Anyways, Gemini previously settled $5 million with a case for the CFTC in January, and the exchange is reportedly planning an IPO this year, which makes sense because if they don't get this situated, they can't do their IPO. Now let's go ahead and listen to Miss Maxine Waters. So there was a big, there was a House hearing on CNBC ban and stablecoin regulation, and Maxine Waters says that Trump will replace the US dollar with his own token. Maxine Waters is a complete dodo over there. Complete dodo. Like super, super dodo. Super, 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 super dodo. Super, super, super dodo. But basically, she's saying that that Trump will just make his own stable coin. Of course, he can make his own stable coin, but that's not what's going to be used in the government. And this is how ridiculous a lot of these dodos are. These dodos are so ridiculous because the stuff that they spew out of their mouth, is dumb. Like, she shouldn't even be in office at this any of this. She shouldn't be there. Aw, thank you so much. Monkey, dude. Yeah, YouTube is better. If you guys are watching me on TikTok, come to YouTube. We're better over here. Sorry. But yeah, Maxine Waters is a dingo. She's too old. We need term limits. And I know people are talking about Trump and his 30-day, like he wants to do a third term. That's stupid. He's too old. Trump is too old. We need term limits. I think all public servants should do two term limits. Anyways, House make up the Stable Act. Lynch says that certainly these stable coins, referencing the one launched by World Liberty Fire, are going to depeg and need a bailout. The American taxpayer will be the ultimate loser here, he says, adding that Trump will not hesitate to bail out his own family company. He's an idiot. This is actually really, really stupid. Really, really, really stupid. Okay. Okay, so the banks are allowed to force us to deposit our money. Then they take our money. They make investments. They lose money. Who bails out the banks? We do. At least with stable coins, and I don't really like the whole stable coin legislation thing, at least with the stable coins, we get to do, like, we have a choice what stable coins we want to use. We don't really have a choice what bank we use. Will American taxpayers bail out the stablecoins? Possibly. But if you're basically going to use this argument, then you need to go back and you need to look at banks. You need to look at all the banking failures. What happened during 2008? We bailed the banks out. We bailed the mortgage companies out. We bailed all of them out. Hey, don't say mobsters, because, you know, my Italian mobster people, they took care of their own. They did. Anyways, that's my thoughts on that. I don't really care for all this stablecoin regulation. Oh, also, too, I want to show you guys something about Brian Armstrong. He said something stupid yesterday. Since we're talking about ivory towers. He is basically talking about IVF. And I read this and I was like, what? Who? Listen, crypto founders, stick to being a crypto founder. Stop talking about women's health, please. I don't even think he has kids. And they're talking about IVF here, and I don't want an artificial womb. No. Let me tell you something. I don't have an issue with IVF. I think that IVF used as a last resort, picking your kids out, that type of stuff, all those things as a last resort, great, fine, fantastic. But we need to leave humanity where it is. We need to stop using VPN. You have to use a VPN. You have to use VPN. Anyways, back to it. DJ'd stablecoin provides 800% collateralized protection. Well, there's stuff like that can be used too. But honestly, crypto founders need to shut up. People need to, like, if they really want to talk about women's health and see why we have a lot of reproductive problems or whatever, they need to actually, like, do research in that. Not just say use IVF. Again, I'm not against IVF, but at the same time, we need to, like, shut up, Brian Armstrong. Shut up. I went off yesterday because it's just gross. Yeah, dude should not be, exactly. He shouldn't be focusing on that. Like, he should literally be focusing on, oh crap, I got a call soon. He needs to be focusing on customer service. Okay. You can't even do customer service. You're focusing on women's health. Shh. RLUSD is now available for trading on Kraken, which is good. Shout out to them. Circle files for an IPO. That's true. That actually happened. They're aiming for an NYSE listing. IPO details like shares and prices were not disclosed. Jeremy LR says public listings aligns with transparency goals. No, they just want to make more money. Filing comes ahead of stablecoin regulation by vote by the House of Financial Committee Service. Circle is valued at $9 billion in a failed 2022 SPAC deal. SPAC deal refers to a transaction where special purpose acquisition company, shell company, merges with the private company to take it public by bypassing the traditional IPO process. Circle hired JP Morgan and Citigroup as underwriters for the IPO. Interesting, right? We talked about this. JP Morgan, they're a bunch of scammers. Listen, do the opposite of everything they say. Watch their actions. Both will act as intermediary between Circle going public and potential investors, helping to price, market, and sell the company's shares. And a side note, USDC has processed 25 trillion transactions since 2028. And one of the things I wanted to say about this really quickly, IPOs, retail doesn't get equal access to IPOs. Retail does not get equal access to IPOs. So you have to apply with your broker and you have to like kind of wait and see, but they always give institutional investors better deals. So all this IPO crap, put it on a decentralized exchange. Let retail have their fair share, but they don't want to do that. It's just more ivory tower BS. That's all that it is. It's all freaking so annoying. Circle holds just 73 Bitcoin, raising questions about his Bitcoin commitment, a bid $5 billion valuation. Now, why does this even matter? They hold 1,746 ETH worth 5.82 million. It's lower than competitors like Tether with 92,000 Bitcoin worth 7.64. And Circle's portfolio is heavily weighted towards alts. They hold alts like C, SUI, OP, and Aptos. Yikes. Critics argue that the altcoin heavy approach undermines confidence in Bitcoin and Ethereum. They also suggest that the IPO may be a desperate liquidity move and question Circle's business model. I agree. I question their business model too, primarily because Tether's holding so much more. Some people suggest that Coinbase or Ripple might acquire Circle post IPO if stock price struggles. That makes sense. Maybe they're doing this so that they can get acquired by Coinbase or Ripple. I would think Ripple would acquire them first. Okay, what else? Anything else we're talking about? Oh, Newsmax is up 2,000% since the company went public yesterday in their IPO. I might have an announcement about that later, but we got to see. Anyways, that's kind of what's going on with the markets. I got a bunch of calls I got to get on. Thank you guys so much for watching me today. But moral of the story is, if you don't have to sell your Bitcoin, do not sell your Bitcoin. You can if you want to. I'm not selling my Bitcoin. Be patient with the markets, especially the Bitcoin markets. And remember, people that dollar cost average do that. They do a lot better. But anyway, sending you all love and light. I'm out. I got to make some content. I have to. Stuff to do. Anyways, love you guys. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.